Hey guys, I'm Rob Harford.
And I'm Dave Burrows. Welcome to Free Bad Movies, where we take a look at a movie that's on Netflix, so you can go ahead and watch it after we do. We're going to tell you a little bit about it, and then you can take your own opinion there. And the great thing about Netflix is they can always get a free 30-day trial, so you don't have to pay anything up front. If you like it, you stay in. If you really like it, you stay with us. So let's get a synopsis of this movie.
The synopsis that was given from IMDb was basically, hey, this is about a girl who's trying to go to Las Vegas, and she's kind of a hick. So it really doesn't give you any information other than that. Our synopsis is more like, hey, this girl wants to get out of her town, and she goes through a lot of dumb things. A lot.
She just turns 13 at the beginning of the movie. She has her birthday party, and you find out real quick she has a broken home, and she just wants to go anywhere that sounds good.
And you continue the story with her, and she narrates and takes you through everything, and then you realize you don't want to be there with her. All right, our first impressions. What do you think, Dave?
Again, this is another one of those movies that I went on Netflix and I was just randomly looking for a movie, and I saw a movie called Hick. And of course, I have this opinion of what it might be, and of course, it's never what you think it's going to be. My first impression of this was that it's most likely a true story somewhere. And what was weird about this movie, I couldn't really tell when it was set in, because it could have been set in now time or 30 years ago.
Yeah.
It could have been the same thing.
Yeah, well, especially because like the places that you're in and the cars and all that stuff. But like, if you go to certain parts of the country now, they all still have that stuff. That's like, I guess, like the definition of a hick is they like to keep their things the way that it was 30 years ago.
So, the beginning of the movie, there's a lot of setup, a lot of good setup, and it really gets you interested in where she's going to go.
My first impression of the film was, when I started watching it, I felt like it was going to be kind of like a Southern Juno, but then as the film kept going, it started like hitting some stereotypes of everybody around the cast except for her, the main character, Luli. It's a really weird name for a Southern hick girl. And Luli, L-U-L-I. It was played by Chloe Moretz, the girl who played in Kick-Ass and was like whipping everyone's ass. I actually really adore her.
I think she was only 12 in that movie.
Yeah, she was pretty young. But like, I had high hopes, and that was my impression, was this movie's gonna be good because she's, for a young girl, she's pretty awesome. But it just it turned out to be really creepy, and that was my impression the entire movie. Creep factor just.
All right, Rob, why don't you tell us what was your favorite part?
My favorite part, I actually like the relationship between Luli and Glenda. Glenda's a woman who's basically...
She's a grifter.
Grifter? What is a grifter?
A grifter is a person that just is on the move.
On the move.
Town,
yeah, but the weird thing is, it's like, they call her a grifter, but she's like stuck in this like weird circle of keep coming back to where she belongs thing. She doesn't really belong anywhere. She's kind of stuck, and she's like kind of a druggie or whatever. But like, when you are introduced to that character and Luli, the relationship between them, it becomes like, as f***ed up as Glenda is, she becomes more of a mother type character to Luli than her real mother, which is basically, it's just odd to me. But I really like the relationship there, because it was like she was training her for the real world and giving her some like street credibility to get her to go to where she wants to go.
Here's the problem.
Oh. Do you even have a favorite part?
I have parts that don't make any sense in my mind. So my favorite part of this movie is Chloe Moretz, who is Luli, girl from Kick-Ass. She really is awesome, in my opinion. And I'd watch pretty much anything that she was in. I don't know if she's going to be great later on in her life, but as a child, she's fantastic. And that's about it.
Yeah.
That's about it. That's it.
I mean, it's not even really a favorite part. It's just that you like her. I mean,
I like the way that she drew. She had an art book, and she drew out everything that was going on in her life, so she could like go back to it like a movie or a book.
Well, I think that's going to take us right into the what sucked part. I mean, literally, God, I did not like this movie. I really didn't. I mean, there was a lot wrong with it, and the title Hick itself.
I don't get it.
I
understand because it's in the South or whatever.
It's in the South, right? I mean, it's the definition of like between a hick and a redneck, It's like redneck is like the whole, oh, I'm fun and I like to shoot deer and I'm in the South. Hick, I guess the whole terminology in this film is like, hey, it's like deliverance. There's like drugs and there's like all kind of like weird shit that happens.
There's 2 rape scenes.
Yeah, there's some rape scenes.
I'm not a fan of that.
I don't like that either.
And
like,
I didn't. I just...
It's just like you have this expectation, like, man, she's gonna make the Vegas, and she just gets like through this storm of bad events, and it's like it turns into a movie where an hour out of an hour and a half makes you feel terrible, and I don't want to watch a film that makes me feel terrible the whole time. What sucked for you?
So my least favorite part, or the part that I hated about this movie, was when you got up to that third of the way through the movie. So from that third through the rest of the movie, I hated all of that.
Yeah.
And the weirdest thing about it was Alec Baldwin. Like, why? Why did you need Alec Baldwin for that?
Right.
Because he was in this movie for 5 minutes, maybe.
It was like the last 10 minutes.
And it was just, it could have been anybody. It could have been a Southern gentleman. You got Alec Baldwin.
Bacon rating.
Do you hear that sizzle? Because I don't. So I have a rating in mind, and the only reason that I'm going to give this rating is because of Luli. That's the only reason. Because of Chloe Moretz. 2 out of 5. If it didn't have her, 1 out of 5. 2 out of 5. Chloe Moretz. Oh my God. See, this is one of those times where we watch it to make sure you don't watch it.
Right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and jump on that 2 out of 5 bacon rating, only because the same reason Chloe was in this film. And she was in Kick-Ass, and I adore her, but the rest of this film, it was made well, the cinematography was good, the lighting was good. I liked some of the acting from some of the characters, but it's just like the whole story, the plot. I was bored. I was like bored out of my mind. And then when bad shit happened, and I thought, no man, it's not going to happen. It happened, and it got creepy, and it got weird, and I just didn't like it. I didn't enjoy the movie itself. Sorry guys, this is a film you don't want to watch. Alright, well thank you for watching this movie review, and we apologize for making you watch it if you watched it. So come back next week. We'll have another movie. Hopefully it's going to be better than this one, because Hick was just a bust. Almost 0 sizzles. If it wasn't for that Kick-Ass girl. So, I'm Rob Harford.
I'm Dave Burrows.
See you next week.